I'm done. I have had it. After 30 years of struggling with never ending yo-yoing weight, I quit. Now, that's not to say I'm quitting the healthy habits that got me back into a body I love, because I'm never quitting those habits. But I finally quit all of the quick fix, you gotta try this diet hacks that led to 30 years of misery. And I quit all dogmatic diet views that kept me stuck in that misery, including low calorie, low carb, low fat, basically anything that restricts everything I love. I also quit endless cardio, endless starvation diets, along with the endless research on new diet rules. Now, if you're at the beginning of your weight loss journey and you still have a lot to lose, maybe you're thinking, of course, you don't have to work so hard because you already reached your goal. But that wasn't always the case. Because prior to building the habits that got me here, there were some big lessons that I had to learn along the way. First, I had to learn that while, yes, I do need to eat less in order to lose weight, that never means that I should drastically drop calories. And while we're talking about being too drastic, it also means that I had to quit following all quick fix diets where I give up all of my favorite foods. The reason following any plan where I have to give up everything I love or eat in such a huge calorie deficit that all I can think about is food is these plans always led me right off the cliff into that all or nothing diet mentality. You know the one where you go all in on your diet. You measure all of your food and you only pack lunches from home, even on the days that your coworkers hit up TGI Fridays for lunch. And even though you really love their Jack Daniel's chicken and it's even kind of healthy, you don't go because you are committed to your diet. So you're strict all week because you want to go super hard to get the weight off. But what happens on Friday when everyone's back at Fridays? You snap, but instead of ordering the semi-healthy Jack Daniel's chicken with a side salad, you order the huge sampler platter as your entree. And I know that we've all been there. I mean, why do we all keep falling for these diets that deep down we know we'll never stick to? Diets that we know that we will be starving on. And diets that are so strict that we eventually snap and order an entire sampler platter as our entree. Wait, there's no we? That's just me? Come on, let's be honest. I know I can't be the only one who's down an entire 1,740 calorie whiskey glazed sampler platter all by myself after dieting really hard all week. And this pattern continued for decades. Instead of figuring out a healthy approach to sustainable weight loss, I always found myself attempting to lose weight as quickly as possible with some gimmicky plan. And then it became a game of how long could I torture myself with food I hated that also left me starving and constantly thinking about food. If you find yourself in this pattern of yo-yo dieting, please understand that this is a never-ending battle that your physiology will always win. I didn't break the cycle of yo-yo dieting until I finally understood that losing weight is a process that takes time and patience. A whole lot of time and even way more patience. And the faster I try to lose weight, the longer it took to reach my goals, which was actually never because I couldn't stick to these gimmicky plans long enough to get any real results. Speaking of physiology, that combined with my poor digestion was something else I had to figure out in order to quit yo-yo diets for good. Because 20 plus years of yo-yo dieting broke me. And it took some work on both my physiology and digestion to get back on track with a sustainable plan that works. Back in my yo-yo diet days, my junk food cravings were high and hunger pains were nonstop. And that's mostly because I was eating a lot of highly processed diet foods that were marketed as the key to weight loss. But once I began the cycle of replacing real food like meats, veggies, and healthy fats with highly refined foods that were marketed as healthy, like lean cuisines or even low-fat carby foods, well, over the years, my body slowed down digestion. And the reason it does this is because it doesn't take the same amount of stomach acid to break down processed foods as it does real foods like meat. Oh, hey there, acid reflux, heartburn, and constipation. And basically, if you stop eating healthy fats in order to cut calories, then it's difficult to add those back into a healthy diet too. Hello, diarrhea, chronic acne, and painful gas. Once I finally learned that eating real food was the key to sustainable weight loss, my body no longer tolerated a lot of the real foods that make weight loss easier. So I found myself in this catch-22 that I thought I'd be stuck in forever. After decades of turning to diet-friendly foods for weight loss, I finally learned that eating these processed foods only led to more hunger and craving. But every time I tried to go back to eating more real foods, I struggled with symptoms like heartburn, constipation, bloating, and more. Plus, I still had cravings since my body wasn't properly breaking down most of what I ate. But once I figured out how to balance my physiology with foods and supplements that were specific to me, plus I began eating more real foods without the consequences that I previously suffered, I was finally able to eat a healthy diet so that I could stay on track with weight loss without the nonstop cravings. If you're struggling to eat healthy because you too deal with any of the common symptoms associated with impaired digestion, symptoms like constipation, diarrhea, nausea, heartburn, burping, bloating, and craving, then drop a line below. I'll send over life-changing information that makes it way easier to stay on track with a healthy diet. But wait, getting back to what I was just saying about being able to follow a healthy diet, what the heck does that even mean? Because I eventually learned that just eating healthy wasn't good enough to get my scale to budge. In order to see any progress past the first few weeks, I had to go where no dieter had gone before. That's right, I had to track everything I ate. Okay, so plenty of dieters have logged their food and found amazing success. And successful dieters do this because it works. If you've been taught that you only have to eat healthy in order to lose weight, can we, meaning just you and me, just two of us out of the 45 million Americans who go on a diet every single year, can just two of us come to a consensus about what a healthy diet even means? Because growing up, I learned it was most important to eat my fruits and vegetables. But as an adult, suddenly I was told all sugar is bad, even and especially the natural sugar found in fruit. So I had to avoid fruit at all costs. And don't even get me started on the vegetables. Because depending on which diet expert you follow, sometimes even vegetables, which by the way, I despised vegetables growing up, but actually started enjoying them as an adult. But it really didn't matter that I finally liked vegetables, because now the experts exclaim that vegetables are poisoning me and eating too many vegetables is the exact reason that I'm still fat. Wait, what? So if real foods like fruits and vegetables are suddenly poisoned and single-handedly creating the obesity epidemic, then what's the answer? If you're as confused as I once was, the answer is you need to stop following any diet expert who tells you the only way to lose weight is by avoiding real foods like fruits and vegetables. While some people may need to avoid certain foods until they improve digestion, following huge blanket statements like all vegetables are poison or all fruit will make you fat isn't necessary for most people who just want to lose weight. Even though I previously followed a keto diet where I didn't eat fruit for nearly half a decade, these days I eat multiple servings of fruit per day, and it's never been easier to drop fat and actually keep it off. But that's only because I quit all obsessive diet rules and I instead started paying attention to which foods make me feel good, as well as which foods leave me feeling satisfied. Well, for some people, that means eating a whole lot of meat and maybe some healthy fats. For others, veggies are a must in order to feel satisfied. And for some people, fruit, yes, evil sugar-filled fruit, might be key in helping you stay satisfied for hours. So instead of trying diet after diet in search of the perfect quick weight loss plan, my healthy diet means eating food that I actually enjoy that also fills me up. But I still have to track that food, just to be sure I'm not eating too much. Because when you feel good and your appetite is satisfied, that is when you eat less. And eating less is super important if you want to weigh less. You want to know what else is super important if you want to weigh less? Your habits. But if you're not sure which habits you need to form for a sustainable weight loss plan, then you can watch this video next.